Okay, let's talk geometry. Let's talk offset yokes. On the diagram here, you can see a line going through the center of your forks. There's also another line going through the center of your steering stem. The distance between those 2 points is what we call offset. Now, manufacturers set this at a relatively high number. 675, for instance, is 32.3 mil. The reason they do that is because at 50 miles an hour down a country lane, the bike's going to feel really nimble and responsive. But if you then throw that into a corner at 120 miles an hour, it's not going to feel nimble and responsive. It's going to feel scary. And so this is why offset yokes come into their own, particularly for track riding when you're going to different types of circuits. So these spacers, one top, one bottom, inserted into the yokes, move that steering stem forwards or backwards and invariably change your trail figure. And your trail figure is what dictates stability. And when I talk about stability, I'm not talking about speed wobbles, although they will come into it. I'm talking about how fast the bike can turn into a corner and how stable it feels when you're doing it. You can see here, people call these triple clamps. This is not a triple clamp, it's a double. And it's a double because we want the front end of the bike to flex. We want movement in there. When the bike's in the corner, fully leant over, suspension fully compressed, we want some movement there so that the tyre is not doing all of the work. The chassis is acting as a form of suspension. And that is a massive bit of leverage and another subject that we're going to discuss a little bit later on. Now, a lot of people will ask me, well, can you use these things on the road? And the answer is, yes, you can. We even designed ignition holders for them so that those guys that want to ride on the road can use offset yokes and still have an ignition switch in there. So that pretty much covers a very basic outline of what offset does. Hope you found it useful.